Hello, Jane Johnson here. I just wanted to say a few words about my next novel, The White Hare. And it's a bit different from the previous books, most of which have been sweeping Moroccan epics. Of course, The Seagate was a Cornish novel, and this is another Cornish novel. This one is much more of a lockdown novel than The Seagate was, because I just haven't had a chance to do any travelled for research, and so I have gone deep into Cornish history and folklore for this novel. Now, many of you will know that I am Cornish born and bred, and this place is absolutely in my blood and bones, so I wanted to honour it with a truly Cornish novel. And we have many legends here about the white hare. It stands for so many different things. And as you can see, I'm in a beautiful spot here. These are the woods just up above Mousehole where I live. And the White Hare itself is set further down the coast in a remote valley that I won't name, but we call it here the Uncanny Valley because it has the most uncanny atmosphere. And if you're there on a quiet day, you can feel a presence in those woods. And it's a watchful presence, a little bit brooding, a little bit eerie. And I often wondered what had caused it. So I did a bit of research, and there are lots and lots of stories that attach to that valley. The usual hauntings, the usual white ladies who have thrown themselves into the sea because of their love affairs that went wrong. But the one that really interested me is the fact that it is the setting for a really big piece of Cornish history. Back in the 10th century, it was the last stand of the Cornish against King Athelstan's huge army when he was taking over the whole of England, and Cornwall had stood out as a rebel nation. He came down here and there was a massive massacre just outside St Berrien, which is just a few miles away from here, over the top of the hills. And they say that the rivers and the streams ran red with blood all the way down to the sea. And you can feel something of that tragedy for the nation in the area. Now, of course, this is not a 10th century novel. It's set in 1954, just after the war has come and gone and people are moving around again. And the characters in this book centre on three female characters. There is Magdalena, who is in her 50s. There is her daughter Mila, and she is 26. And her daughter Janie, who is only 5. And they are fleeing scandal in London and coming down here to Cornwall to make a fresh start. And they've bought this decrepit old house on the Cornish coast in a very remote spot, and they're determined to make it into a top-notch guest house again, but it's in the Uncanny Valley, so there is quite a lot up against them in that plan. But also there's a female presence in the book as well, and maybe she will watch out for them. Anyway, The White Hare is a little bit different for me, but I think my readers will enjoy it, and I hope you will too. And thank you so much for working so hard on my books. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.